The ink is still wet on the page. You can see it glistening in the lamplight, black and permanent and irreversible. Your hand wrote those words. Your fingers held that pen. Your eyes watched each letter form on the paper. And now the most powerful man in the world is reaching across the table to take it from you. The document you just wrote will imprison a king. Not just any king. His father. You have served in the Mughal court for 11 years. You came to Agra as a young man from a family of scholars. Your father had served Emperor Shah Jahan before you, and his father before him. The court was in your blood. The language of emperors, the protocol of the Durbar, the precise and beautiful calligraphy that turned royal commands into law, all of it was yours by inheritance and by years of careful study. You rose through the ranks slowly. First, a junior scribe. Then, a secretary to a provincial administrator. Then 6 years ago, you were appointed to the personal staff of Prince Aurangzeb, the third son of Shah Jahan, governor of the Deccan. You have watched Aurangzeb for 6 years. You have seen his discipline, the 5 daily prayers never missed, the fasts observed with iron strictness, the simple food, the plain clothes. While his brothers Dara, Shikoh and Murad Bakhsh surrounded themselves with poets, musicians, and wine, Aurangzeb sat with scholars and generals. You have seen his intelligence, the way he reads a military situation faster than any commander you have ever met, the way he listens more than he speaks, the way he never forgets anything. And you have seen his ambition, though he conceals it so perfectly that most people mistake it for duty. For the last 2 years, the war of succession has been consuming the Mughal Empire. Shah Jahan fell ill in September of 1657. His 4 sons, Dara, Shikoh, Shuja, Murad, and Aurangzeb, each moved to secure their position. Alliances formed and dissolved. Armies marched. Battles were fought at Durmat and at Samagar. Dara Shikoh, the eldest, the favorite, the heir Shah Jahan openly preferred, was defeated. And now it is June of 1658. Aurangzeb controls Agra. He controls the treasury. He controls the army. There is only one thing standing between him and the peacock throne. His father. Shah Jahan is not dead. That is the complication that nobody speaks aloud, but everyone understands. The emperor is old and ill, but he is alive. He is in the Agra Fort, the magnificent red sandstone palace that he himself extended and beautified, the palace where he built the Diwan-i-Khas, where he received ambassadors from across the world, where he once ruled the richest empire on earth. And he still believes or wants to believe that his son Dara Shikoh can be rescued, that the war can be reversed, that a father's authority still means something. It does not. Aurangzeb has been patient. You have watched him be patient with a discipline that frightens you more than any anger ever could. He visited his father. He spoke with respect. He listened to his father's pleas for Dara's life, for reconciliation, for peace. And then he came back to his own chambers and called for you. The other secretaries were dismissed. Only you remained. He dictated slowly and clearly, as he always does. No hesitation. No visible emotion. The words came out of him the way water comes out of a perfectly controlled channel, directed, purposeful, and contained. The document authorized the sealing of the Agra Fort. No one in. No one is out. Shah Jahan, the emperor of the Mughal Empire, builder of the Taj Mahal, the most powerful ruler in Asia for 30 years, was to be confined to his own palace. A gilded prison. But a prison. Your pen moved because that is what your pen does. Because you are a secretary and secretaries write what they are told. Because 11 years of court training had built in you a reflex of obedience that operated faster than conscience. But your hand was trembling. Aurangzeb noticed. He looked at you for a moment, those dark, measuring eyes that miss nothing. A king who cannot rule, he said quietly, is not a king. He is a problem. You said nothing. You never say anything. That is why you have survived 11 years in this court. The document leaves your hands. Aurangzeb reads it once, checking, as he always checks, for errors of language or logic. Finding none, he folds it. He seals it with his personal seal, pressed into red wax with the calm efficiency of a man signing a trade permit. He hands it to his most trusted commander. Within the hour, you hear the sounds from outside, the movement of guards, the closing of gates, and the changing of the watch. The Agra Fort is sealed. You are still sitting at your desk. You tell yourself what every man in your position tells himself: you had no choice. You are a secretary. You wrote what was dictated. The responsibility belongs to the man who spoke the words, not the man who transcribed them. But the ink on your fingers does not wash off with logic. You think of Shah Jahan. You have seen him only twice at formal court ceremonies, from a great distance. But everyone in the empire knows his story. The man who built the Taj Mahal for his dead wife. Who wept for 2 years after Mumtaz Mahal died. Who poured the grief of a husband into the most beautiful building in the world. That man is now locked in a room. His view from the Agra Fort, as it will turn out, for the remaining 8 years of his life, will be the Taj Mahal across the river. He will spend his last years looking at the monument he built for his wife, imprisoned by the son he raised. You do not know this yet, sitting at your desk. But you know enough. The lamp flickers. The ink dries. The empire turns on its axis.